Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to go over days 9, 10, and 11. And sorry about the noise, my 3-year-old is playing a video game near me. So I didn't come back because I've been going back to the Mayo Clinic because I had some struggles, and also we had 4th of July and we went and had a great 4th of July and everything. And it was a great day on Monday. I came back and had an awesome day and an awesome trip. And our trip, we went to Sedona, worked out beautifully. We used a lot of the techniques and a lot of the strategies that we're learning just to create a very comfortable and enjoyable trip for all of us. And then Monday came and we went and everything was going good. And I learned some stuff and I could go over all that with you. On Monday, I want to say that we learned about understanding pain, but it was understanding pain 3. So there are 3 sections to understanding pain, and it's the vicious cycle of pain. And the vicious cycle of pain is basically where you have pain, and then pain turns into anger, anxiety, fear, and distress, and impoverished mood, and desperation, and then increase perception of pain. And then you have pain and avoidance and of activity, prolonged deconditioning. Pain increases with activity, further activity avoidance, and further deconditioning. It was really interesting because exercise is such a key to this program. It's so funny to say, oh, I'm in pain, so exercise. It's so important because the exercising is reminding our body to do what it naturally is built to do. It's the breathing incorporated with strength training and cardio and stretches, and all of these aspects are so important. The fear avoidance cycle, fear avoidance here, is where you have an injury and then a pain experience, no fear, confrontation, recovery. That's what normal is. Then there's us, where we have an injury, then pain experience, then pain catastrophizing, negative effects and threatening illnesses and information, and pain-related fear, and avoidance and hyper vigilance, and disgust, desperation, and disability. So what happens is, fancy words here again, is that when you have central sensitization syndrome, and you have why we're going to this program, we all do have some sort of injuries. I should say that. We all have something wrong with us in this program. But everything that's wrong with us should be easily managed or no longer a cause of pain. And that's how you know the difference. Acute pain is like when you hurt yourself right away, and it takes, anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks to get that pain under control and gone, and you heal. Chronic pain is anything that lasts 3 months or longer. Okay, I'm back. So sorry, my daughter was out working on some hockey practice, and my husband and her came in, and I said, okay, I'll go in the other room. So as we were discussing the difference between chronic pain and acute pain, there's a big difference. And us as chronic pain sufferers still can get acute pain. I could fall and twist my ankle and still need that to heal and have acute pain. The thing that really is frustrating about that is that because of my chronic pain and my central sensitization syndrome, it will always be, I will always have more pain involved with that. And that's where I have to learn the difference between like when it's really bad and it's not. That's where that word pain catastrophizing comes in. And I probably am saying it wrong, but when you catastrophize something, you make a bigger deal out of it than what it really is. And it's kind of like, there's a really cute little video we watched where, this guy was sitting on the couch and he was watching the clock, and he said, my sister said she'd be home at 12. It's now 12:01 and my sister's not home. Where is she? And then it says like at 12:05, my sister's not home. Something must have happened to her. And then like at 12:10, my sister's not home and she hasn't called me, and so she must have a broken down car on the side of the road. And then it goes into even more. Like, my sister's not, she must be trying to walk home on her own outside of her broken down car. And maybe, she got hit by a car and now my sister's dead. And now I have to write a eulogy for my sister. And then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, his sister walks through the door. The idea is that in our brains, we do this a lot. Well, some people do. But where we take something that's kind of small and we make it much bigger. So, it's kind of like when the kid comes running up to you and goes, I have a cut. And they act like it's the end of the world. Oh my gosh, there's so much pain involved. Well, and my daughter's really bad about this too. I banged my hand before we were supposed to go away on our trip for 4th of July. And she ran outside and told my husband, oh my gosh, your mom broke her finger. Well, I did hurt my finger and it did kind of swell a bit, but I never said anything about breaking my finger. So she took that small thing and made it huge. Well, that's kind of what we do and what we have to be very careful that we don't do. That also comes from a world where now when we have something that's wrong with us, we can Google it and we go to Dr. Google and we look up our symptoms. Don't do that to yourself. Go talk to a professional, talk to a doctor, because Dr. Google is not the answer and it's just going to stress you out. So please listen to me. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. So that was another thing that we touched on. Okay, so that was Monday, Tuesday, yesterday was a hard day for me. Yesterday was it yesterday? Oh yeah, because, okay, so it wasn't Tuesday, I'm sorry. We had Monday off. So Monday we were gone, we went back, that was Tuesday that I was talking about. So now yesterday, which was Wednesday, is what I had a really rough day with. We took lots of personality tests and lots of attention tests and stuff like that at the beginning of the class. And I got my results back and there was something in it that I really didn't like. And it just really kind of hurt my heart to hear it. And I'm not going to go into the details. It's no one's business on why I felt the way I did. This is something that everyone has to go through because it's your own personality and your own, evaluations. But I really had to dig deep inside and figure out why it was bothering me so much. And that word, there's this word, we use it all the time, called ruminate. And if anyone knows what that is, ruminators are cows. They chew and chew and chew and grind and grind and grind and chew their grass until it's like a paste in their mouth. And then they do it more and they do it more. So we're saying don't ruminate on things. Don't grind things forever and chew and chew. Yeah, put it in your mouth, chew it up, and then swallow it and be done with it. So yesterday was hard for me. I, in fact, came home yesterday an emotional mess. And I had to have a good cry and be frustrated and be hurt. And then I had to figure it out and I had to go, okay, this is okay. And then I had to come out of that. And I realized that before the program, I might have been sitting in, I hate to say the word self-pity, but a self-pity mode over it for a much longer time. So where it has to do with pain, but at the same time, it has to do with more of like your personality, which does affect your pain, but where they go hand in hand, this was just on a very personal level for me and something that bothered me greatly. I learned, I'm an extrovert, which I knew I was. I mean, I like talking to people. I like to meet people. If you saw me, at the grocery store, I would talk to you. If you had questions for me, I would have no problem talking about it. I have no problem getting in front of people and talking. Singing, that's another issue, but that's because of stage fright. Anyways, so I got my results back and I had to go through them and I had to face some realities that were really hard for me, but it wasn't anything that Mayo did wrong. So I still love the program and I still think it's incredible. And I was able to look at some of my really strong aspects, and like creativity is one of them, and being open and to trying new things, and friendliness and being a leader, and also being able to be led, which I think both are very important, are strong for me. And that was good. And so where I was very focused on my negative, I really, all in all, like I said this morning when I got up, a paper is not going to define me. So we move on from there to today. So, and there's a lot more about yesterday, and I do hope that if you choose to take this program, that when it's your turn to go through all this stuff, you get the full benefit from learning about your personalities and what's the best way to use your personalities to help in your struggles and triumphs with pain management. And I learned where great things were that can help me, and also things I need to kind of stay away from. But today we talked a little bit about, we learned a lot of stuff and we got a lot of homework. It's kind of funny because we only have 7 days left in the program and they just dropped a bunch of homework on us today, but that's okay. So we learned about cognitive reconstructing to modify our outlook. Another more fancy big words. I mean, like I said, they tease us and say by the end of this, we're going to be professors ourselves. We're not, but it is a pretty intense 3-week course. By the way, a binder I told you I was getting, my binder is this thick with papers now and information that I'm bringing home. It's giant, which I'm grateful to be able to bring that home so I can continue teaching myself and others about chronic pain and central sensitization syndrome. But anyways, so we were talking about behaviors. So I think you saw me. I just got this beautiful necklace today. I just love this necklace. I think it's beautiful. And it changes colors. And sorry if you can't really see it. They're trying to get it to do what it does. But the reason the necklace is important to me is if you see it's a triangle. And the reason I picked this one versus other shapes is because this is how I'm going to live my life from now on. There are differences between our cognitive behaviors that are positive and negative. Positive thoughts about this program and negative thoughts. When we went into the program, the situation was I have pain. Nobody's able to figure out how to deal with this pain. I've gone through all these different things. So now what are my options? And my next option was to go to PRC. So, and by the way, that's pain rehab, management, the pain rehabilitation center. So that's when you hear PRC, that's what I'm referring to. Sorry. So we have 2 ways we can look at it. Anything in life. We can look at the positive aspect of it, or we can look at the negative. So when we look at PRC and we look at it through a negative, if we sit there and go, it's not going to work, I'm not going to enjoy this, this is horrible, these people are dumb, how could they think breathing is going to fix these years of pain I've had, and just a complete negative outlook, then I'm looking at it in a negative way that my thoughts, feelings, and actions are all going to reflect that. Well, like I said, it's a triangle. My thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. So see, thoughts, feelings, actions. So, and it goes like this. So if I look at it positively and go, here's my situation. I've been told that there's not a lot more that anyone can do for me, and where this might be end game, meaning that I've done everything else I can as of right now, and this is where they want me to go, I'm going to look at it in a positive way. And I can be sad that there isn't a magic cure or a wand that they can wave that's going to make me feel better. But my situation is not going to change. So I take my situation, I take my thoughts, and I start thinking, hey, maybe this program is going to help. Maybe this is the only help I have, the hope. And maybe I'm going to come out a better person. The feelings. Then I feel light and I feel more inquisitive and more apt to continuing and trying something new. My actions, going, being present, being there, and learning. This affects what again? My thoughts. And this isn't a circle, it's a triangle. And the triangle of situation, thoughts, feelings, and actions is so important in every aspect of our lives. When you think about something that you're doing and your thoughts are positive on it, even if it's something we don't want to do, heck, going to the dentist. Oh, I hate going to the dentist. But my thoughts, it's going to be a good thing. My feelings, I'm intimidated and I'm a little scared, but I've got a good dentist and they'll do a good job. My actions, I'm going to go in, be brave, and get my work done. Or I go in thinking this is going to be the worst thing in the whole wide world. My thoughts, I'm so afraid. I don't want anybody to touch me. My feelings, I'm scared. I'm petrified. I don't want this to happen. My actions, I either don't go and then I have teeth that fall out of my head, or I wait too long, or I go in and I cause myself more stress and more anxiety. So that's how cognitive behavior therapy works, where the whole time we're there, we're being taught examples of positive, and there's this thing, it's called an ABC model, and the ABC model is basically the activating event, the event that's got us, how thoughts influence our mood and behaviors. The activating event, an activating event is what happened, the thing that's happening. Like right now my kids are screaming at each other in the other room. Okay. And then there's B, belief and thought. And then there's the consequence of my belief and thought. And I have a choice of how I believe in my thoughts and the consequences of my thoughts. So activating. The kids are screaming in the other room. My belief or thought could be my husband's not paying attention to them. They're going to kill themselves. But that's not what's really going on. But this is an example. And instead, my belief or thought could be like, oh, well, they probably are having a disagreement, but it's probably under control and that's going to be okay. And with that, I can calmly go, I don't need to get up, run in the other room and be part of that. If I would have thought, oh, the kids are in there, they're screaming at each other and it's the end of the world and nobody's taking care of it, then once again, I'm catastrophizing it. And the consequences are I'm stressed, I feel overwhelmed, I'm angry that I feel like I have to get up and take care of it. So when you look at how we perceive things, you can see how one way works and one way doesn't. And this is something, like I said, we're learning, and it's incredible. That's just a section. There's so much more to this, you guys. If you were to ask me if I believe this was going to work at the beginning, I would have been just probably as skeptical as everybody else and been like, I'm not sure. What the heck? I'm just giving it a shot. What do I have to lose, right? In the middle, I started seeing it work and going, hey, this could work. But I had a really hard day and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to apply this. And then after yesterday and what I went through, and then being able to apply it in a real situation where I came home, I cried, I got the stuff out of my system, but then I got up, I breathed, I relaxed, I thought about what I was going through, and I went and I made dinner, and I had dinner with my family, and I continued on, and it wasn't the end of the world, which is a really amazing thing. Because before, it would have been Amanda in bed, crying, being sad, letting my pain get on top of everything else because it all builds up. But I didn't let it do that. And this morning when I woke up, I felt light. I felt ready to take on the world. And I was ready. And not only that, I felt if I could handle that situation, I can handle something that's just as painful or just as strong. So it gave me hope that I can continue handling these situations that are going to be hard, painful, difficult. And, it's not to say that we're not going to have flares, pain flares or hard days, because we're going to have pain flares and hard days. They don't go away. They just might be lessened. And when they do, the idea of this is to have healthy habits and healthy ideas behind them. So if I'm in pain and I'm having a flare up, then what am I going to do? Because before, I might have grabbed from my Advil and just hid in my room and avoided everyone. And now I'll tell you, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to focus on things I enjoy. And I'm not going to let pain take over my life. And I can say that with a genuine happy smile and feeling, because I can feel it. And I just wish everyone out there who's going through major pain could feel what this is like, because it's pretty incredible. So, as I say, is this something that I would encourage other people? 100% yes. And as I go on after this program is over, I'll do a couple check-ins, maybe once a week instead of like every couple days or whatever. And the reason why is because even though I'm learning all this, how am I going to apply it into my life when I'm not there? Right now, I have to get up in the morning and be there and present and ready to go by 8 o'clock in the morning, which is about a 40-minute drive from my house to get there. So I have to be there. I have to go through the actions. I have to talk. I have to be, there in the mindset of understanding and listening to what's going on. And this is all part of the program. It's part of showing that I want to be there, that I am willing to be there, and that I'm listening and I'm learning, and I am. But if that's not for you and you're not going to do that, then maybe this isn't the program for you. But as far as anyone who's wondering, this is an incredible program, and I highly recommend it if you're willing to do the legwork on it, and if you're willing to go and show up and be present and put it into action in your life. This is all I'm going to say for tonight, but oh no, I hear catastrophizing in the other room. Oh well, I'll go and check on them. But I just wanted to say, thanks for listening again. And I hope you guys all have a great night. And I'll check back with you. And we're coming close to an end here. And I'll tell you how this whole story works out. So I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.